Hello everyone, I am Suvarna Gaikwad, working as Assistant Professor in Rayat Shikshan Sanstha's Dada Patil Mahavidyalaya, Karjat. So, welcome you all in the TYBSc paper 2nd, Cell and Molecular Biology. So friends, as we are dealing with the cell biology paper, in previous session we have discussed some of the aspects of cell biology, and today also we are going to discuss new topic related to cell biology, that is part first of chromosome. Okay, so let's start. So in today's session we are going to discuss introduction of chromosome, then its morphology, its structure, concept of karyotype, and finally the ideogram. So, the chromosomes are thread-like structures present in the nucleus. So, this is the figure of a typical chromosome which is appeared in the mitotic chromosome. Okay. So, there was a scientist, Carl Nageli, in 1842, first of all, observed rod-like chromosomes in the nuclei of plant cells. Later on, another scientist, Strasburger, in 1875, discovered the thread-like structures, and these thread-like structures appeared during the cell division. Finally, the term chromosome, it is derived from Greek word chroma means color and soma means body. And this was coined by scientist Waldeyer in 1888 to darkly stained bodies of nucleus. So in this way the chromosomes have discovered. Now these chromosomes, they are capable of self-reproduction. Okay? Generally, in all types of higher organisms, nucleus contain definite number of chromosomes. These chromosomes have definite shape and size. And these chromosomes, they play important role in heredity, variation, mutation, and evolutionary development of the species. Okay. So, let's discuss the morphology of chromosome. In that, we are going to see the number of chromosome, its shape, and size of chromosome. Let's study one by one. So the first aspect of morphology is number of chromosome. So number of chromosome is constant for a particular species and it varies from species to species. So basically there are two types of chromosome number. Basically first is the haploid and second is the diploid chromosome number. Generally, the haploid cells are denoted as single N and they have only one copy of each chromosome. So, these haploid number represents half of the somatic chromosome number of the species. Generally, somatic cells are denoted as 2N. So, haploid number represents half of the somatic chromosome number of a species, and these haploid chromosome number specially present in the gametic cells such as sperms and eggs. The second type of chromosome number is the diploid number. So these diploid number, it is denoted by 2N and they have two homologous copies of each chromosome. Now what is the homologous chromosome? Homologous chromosomes contains two copies of chromosomes which are identical in morphology, identical in gene content and gene order. Okay, such type of chromosomes, they are called as homologous chromosomes. And these diploid chromosome number, it represents the somatic chromosome number of a species. So this is a table for some of the chromosome number in various organisms. In that, human contains, as we know, 46 total number of chromosomes. Then the cat, dog, pigs have different types of chromosome number, such as chicken has 78 chromosome number, horse has 64 chromosome number. So in the next aspect in the morphology is shape of the chromosome. So chromosome shape is usually observed during the anaphase of the cell division. And the shape of chromosome is generally determined by position of centromere. So as we know, the chromosome contains a centromere. So on the basis of position of centromere, the chromosomes have 4 shapes. First is telocentric, second is acrocentric, third is submetacentric, and last is metacentric. Let's study the shapes. So this is the figure for classification of chromosomes based on position of centromere. So friends, as we know, each chromosome has centromere and the chromatids. It may be a centromere and 2 arms. The 2 arms, one out of 2 arms, one arm is called as P arm and second arm is called as Q arm, and in the center there is a centromere. So this is a typical structure for a chromosome. Coming to the first shape, that is the telocentric chromosome. So when the centromere is present at one end, at that time, this type of chromosome is called as telocentric chromosome. Okay. The second type is acrocentric chromosomes. Okay. So in that type of chromosome, the centromere is present at one side and the 2 arms of the chromosomes, they are unequal in shape. Okay. Or unequal in size. So here one arm is very much shorter and one arm is longer. Such type of chromosome is acrocentric chromosome. Okay. Now the third chromosome is submetacentric chromosome. Here also centromere is present at one side and the 2 arms are unequal. Okay. But one arm is not that much short as acrocentric. Okay. In acrocentric, one arm is very much short. But that is the not case with the submetacentric chromosome. Okay. Just these are unequal in size. And the last type is metacentric chromosome. So this is a chromosome in which centromere is present at the center and the 2 arms are equal in size. So such type of chromosome is metacentric chromosome. So these are the types of chromosomes based on position of centromere. Okay. Now the third aspect in the morphology is size. So the chromosome size is measured in micrometer, that is microns. Okay, microns. And the size of chromosome is generally measured at mitotic metaphase. As in the metaphase, there is a well-developed shape of chromosome. Okay. So the chromosome, they may be as short as 0.25 micron, for example, present in the fungi and some of the birds, while they may be as long as 30 micron in some plants like trillion. Okay. So the size is measured in two ways, such as in length also we can measure and in diameter also we can measure. Now as compared to animals, plants have longer chromosomes. Okay, and there are certain cases such as giant chromosomes. They have length up to 300 microns. Giant chromosomes such as Lamb-Rush chromosomes or polytene chromosomes, they are very much larger in size. Okay. Now the size of the chromosome, it varies from species to species. So here is a table which represents the chromosome size in some of the plants and animals. In that, the maize can be the size of chromosome up to 8 to 12 microns. Trillium has 30 to 32 microns. Human has 4 micron and Drosophila has 3 micron. That is, the size can be varies from species to species. Okay. So this is all about the morphology of chromosome. In that, number, shape and size we have seen. Let's move towards the structure of chromosome. So this is the figure for chromosome structure. So in this figure we are able to see this is a typical chromosome. Okay, and these are the chromatids. In the chromatids, the chromosome contains very tightly wound DNA. Okay, so this is the DNA. Now for the complete visualization of this DNA or the chromosome, we must unwind this DNA. Okay, so here is the unwinding process. Now if we enlarge that, so there is again unwinding of DNA, and now we can observe this is a nucleosome, that is the packaging of DNA. Okay, so this is a octamer nucleosome which is composed of DNA and histone proteins. So these are the octamers. Okay, so in this way we can observe this is a double helical structure. So this is a typical structure of chromosome. Okay. Coming to the structure of single chromosome. So the morphology of chromosome is best studied in the cells of root tip and during the metaphase. Okay, we can study it under light microscope also nowadays. So each chromosome consists of different parts such as centromere, then the chromatids, then the secondary constriction and the satellite. This is a satellite. Then the telomere, then chromomere and chromonema, and finally matrix. Okay, so these are different parts which constitutes a typical chromosome. Let's study one by one. So in this way, this is a typical chromosome in bivalent form. Chromosome may be presented in bivalent form, or when it undergoes replication, it may be present in the tetrad form. So this is present in bivalent form. So this is a centromere and this is the chromatid. Okay, and the two chromatids of a single chromosome, they are called as sister chromatids. So this is a typical centromere and the two sister chromatids. Okay. Now the centromere, this is the central part and it is the landmark for the identification of chromosome. Now each chromosome has a constriction in the center and that constriction point is called as centromere. The centromere is also called as primary constriction. Okay, this is a centromere. Now this centromere divides this chromosome into two parts. That parts are called as chromatids or the arms. Okay. Generally, the short arm of the chromosome is called as P arm and the long arm is called as Q arm. Okay. So this is the centromere. Now the second part is the chromatid. Now one of the two longitudinal subunits of a chromosome is called as chromatids, and these chromatids are of two types. First is the sister chromatids and second is the non-sister chromatids. As I have discussed, the two chromatids of a single chromosome, they are called as sister chromatids. Okay. Now the third part is the secondary constriction. Okay. So in some chromosomes, in addition to primary constriction, there is one more constriction. It is called as secondary constriction. Okay. Now in this figure we are able to see this is the primary constriction. Along with that there is a secondary constriction. Okay. So this is the secondary constriction. Next part is the satellite. This is the satellite. Now satellite, it is the region between secondary constriction and nearest telomere. Okay. Here in this figure we can observe this is the satellite. Okay. The part between secondary constriction and nearest telomere, it is called as satellite. Okay. And the chromosome that possesses this region is called as satellite chromosome or SAT chromosome. Okay. So these are certain parts. The next part, it is the telomere. Now we know the ending regions. The two ends of chromosomes are called as telomeres, and these telomeres, they play important role in chromosome replication and the maintenance of its length. Okay. Now the telomeric region is made up of repetitive sequence of thymine and guanine bases. Okay. Next part is chromomere. Chromosome of some of the species shows small bead-like structures. Okay. These are called as chromomeres, and the thread-like structures are called as chromonema. Okay. So the bead-like structure are the chromomeres and the thread-like structure are called as chromonema. When the chromomere and chromonema are together, they represent the beads on a string like manner. Okay. So this is a beads on a string arrangement. Okay. And the last part is matrix. Now this is a matrix. In the matrix there is a chromonema and chromomere are suspended. So these are certain parts of a typical chromosome which contains primary constriction, secondary constriction, centromere, that is the primary constriction, then the matrix, then chromonema, chromomere and the telomere. Okay. So this is all about the structure of typical chromosome. So let's move on towards another concept related to chromosome, that is karyotype. The word karyotype is derived from Greek word kernel, which means the content of nucleus. And the concept of karyotype was derived by Navashine. Okay. Karyotype, it is the phenotypic appearance of chromosome of a particular species. And the karyotype is generally identical for a species, but it differs from species to species. For the preparation of a karyotype, various factors of chromosomes are taken into consideration, such as the number, position of centromere, size, and position of satellite, and finally the degree and distribution of heterochromatin. Okay, heterochromatin, it is the highly condensed portion of the chromatin which we discussed in later session. So these karyotype gives number, shape and size of chromosomes of individual species. And the karyotypes of different species are compared to know the evolutionary relationship between two species. So in this way karyotype plays important role. So this is the example of human karyotype, which is a normal one. As we know that normal human cells, they are diploid in nature and they contain 46 chromosomes. Out of 46 chromosomes, 44 chromosomes are autosomes, that means they control the body characters, and the 2 chromosomes, they are sex chromosomes. So out of sex chromosomes, if they are the male, they contain XY, and if they are female, they contain XX. Okay, so this is a karyotype of male human being and this is a karyotype of the female human. Okay, so in this karyotype the chromosomes are arranged in descending manner. So chromosome first, it is the largest autosome which contain body character, and the chromosome number 21, it is the smallest, okay, in size. So this is the XY, that is the male chromosome. This is a karyotype for the female. This is the XX. Okay. So in this way a typical karyotype is represented. So what is the use of this karyotype? So a chromosomal karyotype, it is used to detect the chromosomal abnormalities, then to diagnose the genetic diseases, some of the birth defects and certain disorders of the blood. Okay, for example, this is a karyotype of the Down syndrome. Syndromes are the genetic disorders. So these Down syndrome, it is the trisomy 21. That means in this 21 number of chromosome, there is a trisomy condition. There is one extra chromosome. Okay, so this is the condition 2n+1. So this is a syndrome. So in this way the karyotypes are used for the diagnosis of genetic diseases. Okay, so this is all about the karyotypes, and now we are moving towards our final point, that is the ideogram. So ideogram, it is the diagrammatic representation of a karyotype, and this ideogram shows all morphological features of chromosomes, and these are grouped on the basis of position of centromere. This ideogram is ordered in a series of decreasing size. Okay, generally the ideogram is prepared for haploid chromosome complement of a species. Okay, now this is a ideogram, okay, of a human chromosome number 5. So for identification of chromosome banding and painting techniques are used. For example, we know that in a typical chromosome, a centromere divides each chromosome into long arm and short arm. The short arm is denoted by P and the long arm is denoted by Q. For example, the short arm of chromosome 5 is denoted simply by writing 5P. Okay, that is the short arm. Then the short arm of chromosome 5, in that if we have the region 5P11. Okay, so 11, it is the nearest to the centromere, and then the 12, 13, 14, they are farther from the centromere. Okay, now within each region there are individual bands, such as this is the 11 11, so 11.1, 11.2. Now these are the different bands. This is separate band, this is separate band. In this way, within each region there are individual bands, and they bands are denoted by numbers following a decimal point. For example, 13.1, this is one band. Then 13.2, this is the second band. 13.3, this is the third band. In this way, these all bands, they make up the region 5P13. That means all the bands constitute that particular region, and all the region, they constitute that specific arm on that specific chromosome. So the pattern of bands within chromosome is called as ideogram. Okay, so this is all about ideogram. Okay, so friends, these are certain references for this session. So we will stop here and meet in the next session with the new topic. Till then, thank you very much and bye.